All right, guys, let's get into this experienced beginner, low intermediate level combo that we call Around the World. Come take a look. Welcome back, everyone. If you're new to the channel, we're all about helping you become a better social dancer. And what a lot of you don't realize is we actually have a full online training program at thedancedojo.com that can go into so much more depth than what we can give you here on YouTube. So that's what I want to give you a little taste of today. So the way we structured our lesson normally on our website is we break everything down into multiple videos, so it's really easy to find the piece of the lesson that you're trying to learn and work on. But for the purpose of YouTube, we've put those clips back to back, and we've put the timestamps of each of them in the video description below, so that you can find part 1 for the leads, part 2 for the leads, the follows details, and then some tips for you at the end. So make sure you go through all of it and to get the full experience of the lesson. Okay, so enjoy, have fun, let's get started.
Okay, leaders, this sequence has been around for a long time. Now, it's a great opportunity to really work those lines of dance and rails. So we call it Around the World, kind of like implying that there's an orbiting around one another. Now, Scarlett is the world. She's my world. So I'm going to orbit around her. But I don't go so around. I do a little bit, but it's more lateral. So going from rail, she walks across, and then I go to the other rail, and then she walks across, and then I go to the other rail. Okay? Now, there is a little bit of forward and back, but it's mostly side to side for the leaders, and it's definitely a lot of forward and back along that line of dance for the follows, okay? And I want to do my best to keep her in her line of dance, okay? So the first move, straightforward, it's a hammer lock. Raise the left, lower the right. Don't leave it in that gray area. If you do, you'll jam her shoulder and her wrist, okay? Make it really clear. But you know that by this point, right? So, from a basic, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, hammer lock. 5, 6, 7, 1. Now I'm going to take my back break for 2, and as I am on my 3, 5, I'm going to work to the left rail. So I go back for 2, I go side 3, side 5, okay? Sure, I traveled just a little bit forward, but again, I focused on getting to the rail. Something to keep in mind here, you'll notice I give her my frame. So even though I'm on the rail, I don't keep my shoulders square, I square them up to her. Right? That way I'm able to frame her. Now from here, a change of place. We've covered this previously. She's going to go back and then do a half turn as she goes forward, as I'm going to do a side break and get to the other rail. So I do a side break for 6. On 7, I'm just going to rotate in place. Look what happens to my right hand that's at her hip as I rotate for the count of 7. Creates a pull. It went from back to front. So that helps create a pull. The top hand, I'm just going to rotate my wrist over and create a window for her so I can go over and down. So that was 6. I rotate and pull her 7. Here's my window. And I step across to the other rail for 1. You all right? Now, I'm finishing outside of her right shoulder on the count of 1. And we're just going to break this up in 2 sections. So this will be the end of section 1. And for now, we're just going to go back on our right. Okay? For 2, 3, 5. One more time. From the top. 6, 7, 1. 2, 3, hammer lock. 6, 7, 1. 2, rail 3, cross and rail 5, give her your frame. Rotate her on the 7. 6, rotate her 7 as you make her go across. Other rail by 1 leaders. Back 2, 3. Basic 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. Let's do it from the back view. So you can see I'm getting out of her way. 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, hammer lock. 1, 2, 3, 5. I'm giving her my shoulders. Then side break. 6, 7, other rail by 1. Back break. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. I'm a little distracted because my lovely wife, I think she's trying to give me a heads up that I keep pointing my pinky out. Is that right? As I'm doing my moves, so go easy. I'm trying, so just give me the look, nothing else. So, now I'm going to do that with giving Scarlett's back. 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, hammer lock. 1, 2, side 3, cross and face her. 5, side break. 6, rotate 7, step straight across. 1, outside of her, right shoulder. And for now, back on 2, 3, basic 5, 6, 7. Something to add to this, depending on your follow, some follows might need a little encouragement back for the back break, okay? Especially more than newcomers. So if she needs a little encouragement back, make sure you have your hand holds. So your hand is cupped, your heel of your palm, or your hand, is in the front of the hip. Your fingers just wrap around, okay? So as opposed to doing something like this, or something weird like this, palm is down, fingers to fingers, heel of the hand in front of the hip. Now, I mentioned that simply rotating on the count of 7, looking to where you want to go, this rotation creates a pull from this hand, right? 6, 7. Creates a pull, also will get her out of your way, and then you can step straight across to where you want to go. Let's do that same thing, but from this view. I'm repeating myself, but it's important. So we go side for 6 liters. Here's where it happens. 7. Notice she's out of my way, and I can easily go to the other rail with more economy of I think I need water. Economy of movement. Okay? So economy of movement, I can just step straight across. When I don't effectively get her out of the way, then I have to start adjusting. And then as I start adjusting, it doesn't feel very good. So really, she goes across. I'm going to say it nicely. Get her out of the way, then you can go. Get her out of the way, you can go. Instead of the two of you walking, running laps around each other. It'll be a big mess. Use those rails and lines of dance, okay? We'll come back for section 2. Okay, section 2. So we finished section 1 after the change of place. So we'll take it from the top of section 1. We had 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, hammer lock, 2, 3, 5, change of place, 6, 7, 1. So leaders, we're going to take it from here. Leaders are on their left on 1, outside of the lady's right shoulder. Now, ladies, you're going to be on your inside leg, which is your right leg. And we're both going to break back for the count of 2. Okay? I break back for 2, creates a little boing. I'm going to make sure I start raising my right hand up. So without holding Scarlett's hand, I'm just going to start raising my right hand up and start creating a bit of a waiter hand position. Okay? So that's 2. I rock forward 3, and I step past her slightly by the count of 5. Notice the waiter hand position. That is the place, that's the loop for my head. So as I cross on 6, I'm going to start making my way to the right rail. Cross in front, 6. I'm going to go side back 7 slightly as the top hand starts lowering. Slight back for 1. Now, I'm going to make sure I get her hand in between the two of us, creating a little bit of a pull towards me for the count of 2 as I step back. And this simply here is just a basic right turn. 3, then 5, 6, 7. Okay? One more time. Something to point out. Leaders. Once we've gotten to that change of place and do the second half, make sure you go past her, staying on the rail, but adding to that is keep facing the same direction until the very end of the sequence. So don't be fooled that I rotate my body maybe about a 16th or an 1/8 or so. Don't be fooled by this rotation. I'm still going to be looking forward, and I'm going to come back to that 12 o'clock position. Okay? I step back. And then from here, back break, 2, 3, 5. Okay? So leaders, in the second half, you're going to keep the second half, you're going to keep facing the same direction. Okay? So I break back for 2, 3, 5. If I take my own rotation out of it, 6, 7, 1. You can see I was very square, but then it's kind of robotic. So instead, we add that little rotation. We break back for 2. 2, 3, 5, 6. I rotate a little. 7, I come back. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. What do you think about that?
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good. It was okay. Let's put it all together. Section 1 and section 2. 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, hammer lock. 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, rail. 5, change of place. 6, 7, other rail 1. Back 2, 3, keep facing this direction. 5, other rail 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Think we got it? No, there's one other thing. How silly of me. When we get into that around the world position, 2, 3, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, right here, 1. I'm going to step out. Scarlett's going to stay. She's doing her best to giving me her frame, which is her shoulders and her arms and her upper body. Now this arm right here, I'm going to hold on to that hand for as long as I can. Okay, it's going to be at my right hip. Going to hold on to that as long as I can, but as soon as I start pulling and trying to turn her, of course I'm going to have to release this. So I'm going to pull her with the front hand, then I have to release that. But what I want to say about that is when I release it, I'm actually starting her turn, her rotation, by stepping back into this side. So if she's got good frame, that will help. I step back into it, it'll start rotating her, okay? If she doesn't have good frame, be a bad girl. If she doesn't have good frame, that arm goes, there's no connection to the rest of her body, and it won't do much. Then you're going to have to really rely on this front hand to get all of her work. But if she has poor frame in this side, she probably has poor frame in that side. So really try your best to use both, okay? We call that a turnstile. Like at the department stores, you walk through. It's those things that are on a little thingy like this. And
The hotels?
or the hotels?
Yeah, we have
Really?
that.
Really?
No?
No, I haven't seen. Oh, that's like the revolving doors.
Oh.
Kind of like that too, yeah. That's right. You can push the revolving door. Why not? So I step back into that and starts her turn. Good luck, everybody. By the way, ladies, your explanation's coming up.
Okay, girls, let's go over your combination footwork. You're going to start with a basic turn. You're gonna go for basic, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, basic turn, 1, 2, 3. Right now you're gonna feel like you won't be able to face your partner on your exit, but you're able to, okay? For that 5. Just because sometimes the girls finish in this direction, they're like, I can't do it. Yes, you can. So you go for 5. From here, I'm gonna step back for 6. You go for 6, you go forward for 7, then you're gonna go forward for 1 as you do a half turn for 1, right? Then from there, you're gonna step back for 2, you're gonna step forward for 3, and you're gonna step forward for 5 as you do another half turn, okay? So I'm just gonna do my footwork with no Patricio, just by myself. So I'm gonna go for 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, basic turn. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. I go forward, do a half turn, and I'm gonna repeat it again. For 2, 3, I go forward as I do another half turn. Now, something to keep in mind is that I always wanna keep my line of dance, okay? Another thing to keep in mind is to never have 2 steps or never take 2 steps back, okay? So no panicking. So you only go back on 2 and back on 6. So again, you go for 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, I go back on 6, 6, 7, 1, I go back on 2, 2, 3, then 5, I go back on 6, 6, 7, okay? So you can see I only took 1 step back at a time, okay? So let's try that with my handsome, I was gonna say handsome husband. Anyway, so let's try it again. You go for 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, basic turn. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Now as you go forward, you can see my frame is gonna go towards Patrick and I pivot, so I need to finish my turn, okay? Now it shows more here when you go for 2, 3, 5. A lot of girls, they step forward for the 5 and they don't do a half turn. They start doing this. Where do I go? But where do I go? Okay, and that's because as soon as you lift the elbow up, you're no longer connected to your partner. You can see if Patrick gets out of the way, my frame is over here, right? But if I do this, I'm opening the window or I'm opening that frame to somewhere else. So you won't feel where the frame is, right? So, but if I just put it where it should be, it will allow me to be able to pivot, okay? Or do my half turn. Then for me to be able to do the next step, which is goes back and forward, okay? One more time. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Now you're gonna feel tight with your partner right in this position, and I'm gonna go for 1, okay? Actually, I'm gonna do that facing this direction, if you don't mind. So I went for 6, 7, 1. Why I'm facing that, my feet is facing this direction is because, again, if Patrick gets out of the way or out of the picture, my frame is here. So I'm framing myself as opposed to doing something like that, right? So I'm framing myself right here because I want to face, my shoulders want to face Patricio or your partner. So you go for 1. Now in this position, you're going to do a basic turn. So what you're going to have to do is, you're going to have to work that right leg, so it's going to pivot. If you don't work this right leg, what's going to happen is that you're going to go this direction, that direction, or this direction, but it won't go to where your partner wants it to be, which is facing him. So I work this right leg, and for me to go for 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, okay? So I'm going to do it this direction. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, pivot. 1, 2, 3, another half turn. 5, 6, 7, 1 and 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, right? So if you notice, I did 6, 7, 1 and 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, right? Very important, that last part, okay? And then once you've done that, you'll be the best. Good luck out there.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you had a great time learning that lesson. If you did, come check out our online training program at thedancedojo.com. I know you'll love it. Until next time, peace.